What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, if you're a fan of relationship drama and crazy incidents at weddings, this episode is perfect for you. I've got two stories for you today, which are both completely ridiculous in their own separate, iconic ways. So without further ado, drop a like on this one, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Let's get into the first. Am I wrong for cancelling our wedding? We have been engaged for 3 years. My fiancé just went on a trip of a lifetime, 6 weeks in Europe. She decided that she would take a break in our relationship, allowing me no input in the decision. I called her the day she left and she had me blocked. So I cancelled our marriage and her moving in with me in March. She called me today to inform me of her arrival time on Thursday morning, to which I answered, what does that have to do with me? And I've since blocked her. Just to explain a little bit further, I was fine with her trip. It was with her old college sisters. In fact, I dropped her at the airport and took her to boarding. That is when she dropped the whole break thing on me. She didn't explain it, just told me matter-of-factly and left. I called her the rest of the day and tried to call her when I was able to the rest of the week. After 5 days of ignoring me, I'd had enough and the wedding was off. She can move in with someone else because it's not going to be me. Wow, no messing about with this post. Let's just get straight into the update. Well, update-ish, says OP. We have a group chat among people close to us. Today, I informed them all that our marriage is cancelled and our relationship is over. I did that at about 10 a.m. By the way, this was posted just 1 day later on February 28th. The chat quite literally exploded. It started with questions about what happened, which I answered honestly. At about 2 p.m, she started just asking me to call her so we could discuss this. I told her that talking on chat is perfectly fine, but she said no, this is something between just us. I still haven't replied to her latest message from her, which was at 6 o'clock. Please put me up at the airport so we can talk this out as we planned, she said. Instead, I answered, that was your plan, not mine. None of this was my plan. Her flight is at 9 a.m. I wish her luck. Okay, now let's get into some comments to try and further understand exactly what is going on here. Somebody asked, exactly what did she say to you before going on the trip? OP says, she said that for the duration of the trip, we are taking a break from our relationship. I got angry and of course asked her, what the heck does that mean? She said we'd talk about it when she got back. She waited until she was boarding to tell me about the break part. I was okay with the trip up until then. Again, she was going with 5 girls from college. Somebody replied, that is absolutely wild that she did that. Has she done stuff like this before? No, this was a first. I felt very ambushed for her telling me about the break as she was about to board for her flight out. Someone else asked, please follow up. Unless she is still blocked, what is her reaction? I guess if it were me and my partner wanted to take a 6-week break like that, I would dump them too. If I was asked why, I would say that they had been blocked from their life for 6 weeks, and I decided that I wasn't okay with that, and much more. But what about your family and friends? Is anyone trying to defend her? Yeah, it seems she's called a few friends in our circle. They started blowing up my phone last night, asking what is going on. Someone else asked, does OP's family know? And OP said that he told his parents immediately and they were shocked. With our friends, I waited, and I shouldn't have, but I was embarrassed and depressed. I spent most of the last few weeks feeling sorry for myself and pain shopping. I sent out a message to our group chat informing them that our wedding and relationship are off, and my phone has been blowing up ever since. Someone else asked exactly what happened with OP being blocked on social media and his ex's social media presence over those 6 weeks. OP said he was blocked everywhere that he could think of, and that this is from a woman who posts pics of her breakfast. So she posted no pics of a huge 6-week vacation. It's a straight up cover up. Oh wow. That's clear that something fishy is going on. And then finally, on getting the ring back, it was OP's grandmother's. So of course he wants it back. He has a plan. He's going to make it a term of her getting a face-to-face talk like she wants. And yes, it's going to be in a public place. Thinking of a coffee shop. Okay, a lot to unpack there. Clearly a lot going on. I think the best thing to do is get straight into the second update, which comes 1 day later, February 29th. First off, I got my ring back and it's safe with my mum. Secondly, I would like to thank everyone for keeping me grounded while I was doubting myself. I'm not sure who said it, but someone said that I shouldn't bother with what she did in her trip and focus on her breaking up with me at the airport, which I did. and it was not what she was prepared to argue about. So now she knows how it feels to be blindsided also. It seems her college sisters told her I would be insecure and fight about something that I couldn't hope to prove. So when I didn't, she had no idea what to do. At one point, she excused herself to go to the restroom and didn't come back for 20 minutes. It seems the brain trust was at a loss too. Somebody asked, did she attempt to explain or justify her springing a brake on you as she paused the plane or blocking you on everything? OP said she even tried to change the subject to what happened on the trip instead of just to what happened between us at the airport. That is what she was prepared for. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's clever from OP actually, good tactics. If you just don't even talk about the trip, because realistically, it's not actually that important what she did, more the fact that, yeah, she just blocked you, said, I'm breaking up with you for 6 weeks, then didn't talk to you that entire time. Who cares what she got up to? That, I agree, is worth breaking up with your fiancé over. Someone else asked, and I think this is a good point actually, how far did you let her get? I admit I am a little interested in the story they came up with. I agree, because right now we have no idea, first of all, what they were doing on holiday, and secondly, what sort of excuse or what fake story they were going to come up with to try and get you back. I'm not even sure what the plan was, but yeah, I would have loved to hear an excuse. But OP says, I told her what she did after she broke up with me wasn't any of my business, so I couldn't care less. Have her parents reached out, someone said. Spoke with her parents last night. They woke me up. They must have forgotten about the time difference between coasts. They offered to pay for couples therapy to help us work through this rough patch, as her mother called it. I told them no thank you. She ended our relationship. Do her parents know the truth? Well, my ex told them a watered down version where I am overreacting, but then I told them exactly what happened. My ex made out that while on vacation, she would be unavailable to communicate with, whereas I told them exactly what she really said. Someone asked, has OP checked her social media since? I, stupidly, I know, checked to see if I was still blocked on her socials. And amazingly, yesterday, she posted 30 pictures from her trip and a full recap of what they did and saw. The pictures are of places in France, Italy, and Spain. Most are group shots with all 6 of them like tourist-style ones, and others are churches and museums and a few shops, all during the day like a tour or something. Just to confirm who her friends were on the trip, these were her college sorority sisters that chat on Facebook Messenger, but they're few and far between. I've only met 2 of them a few times, and they were nice enough to me. Opie continues speaking about his ex, saying it's funny how a woman can do creepy stalker stuff and it's fine, but if a guy does the same thing, he's going straight to jail. It's baffling to me. His ex is leaving letters for me with people she knows I will interact with, like the security guy at my building, my receptionist at work. The letters themselves are little more than pleading with me to not throw us away for nothing and professing her love for me. Yeah, great point. Imagine if that was the other way around. You'd be charged with some form of harassment or, stalking or assault. I don't know, but yeah, you're getting charged with something. Opie then says that he's heading to Scotland for a vacation. He's leaving on Monday, and my old college roommate lives in Edinburgh, so I'm going to do some pub crawling with him and see if Scottish food is really a dare. Not entirely sure what he means by that, but the editor of this episode is Scottish. I wonder if he knows what a dare means, or if Scottish food is really what people say it is. Also, I would like to thank everyone for helping me stand back up. I was depressed and feeling quite worthless. I leave tomorrow for my first trip across the pond, I think they say. I'm going to nerd out with my buddy and explore Edinburgh, which in the pics I looked at seems amazing. I'll try to keep my Reddit family updated as much as I can. Once again, thank you all so much. And now we have one final interaction between another Redditor and OP. This person asked, has she tried calling you again? She is blocked, OP says, but keeps asking in the group chat for me to please call her. I've got to say, I love how a lot of this sort of debate and argument is happening in a public group chat, well, at least public with your friends, and you're not just doing this in private. It's good for you, to be fair, because you've done nothing wrong, and you might as well let everyone else know what's going on and make it even more embarrassing for her than it already is. Oh look, Opie actually continues here. She is starting to take a beating in the group chat. It seems the shock has worn off, and our friends are realizing how screwed up what she did really was. That same Redditor replies exactly what she deserved. She keeps apologizing, but it's not what she is apologizing for. She can't even defend herself without making it worse, which would be funny if it wasn't me on the receiving end of this trash. And if she doesn't drop out of the chat group, our friends are really starting to give her stuff about it. She keeps saying she's sorry and that as soon as I'm ready to talk and work through this, she'll be waiting. But she's now confirmed that she did ghost me since she apologized for it on our group chat last night. She's spinning that she was getting nervous about the wedding and wanted some time off to think. And therefore, because she was so nervous, she decided to go away without telling you for 6 weeks with some random friends from college and just block you and everything and not even speak to you. That is great logic. I think realistically, we probably all know what's going on here, right? She just wanted a break from you. I mean, she phrased it as that. But in reality, I think she just wanted to go away with her pals, probably technically cheat on you, and therefore maybe get away with it because she was on a break, although she enforced it herself, and then come back and just settle for you and move on and continue with your life. Completely deluded, of course. But I do feel like that was probably what her weird sort of plan was. I don't know how she ever thought that was going to work, and it didn't work, but I think that was her idea. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me on that. That's just what I was thinking throughout the entire thing. I've got to say, absolutely stupid from her, but a funny story. Although, yeah, I do feel bad for OP. That is Reddit. Anyway, let's move on. I've got another phenomenal wedding story for you. Am I the jerk for yelling at my sister-in-law at my wedding and telling her no one cares that she is pregnant? Now, this was originally posted on February 20th, 2024. My husband, who is 30, and I, a 26-year-old woman, got married during COVID. We couldn't have a big ceremony because of restrictions, and unfortunately, my family couldn't be present as they live in a different country. With restrictions finally lifted, we decided to have a more traditional ceremony in my home country with my family. My husband's family came, his parents, some friends, cousins, and his sister. Now, she is 32, we'll call her Sarah, along with her husband, who is 28, we'll call him Matt. Sarah and Matt live on the other side of the US than the rest of the family. They had their wedding a couple of months back in their home state, and even since then, when we have a conversation, even without our wedding coming up, Sarah would say that she and Matt are planning to get pregnant on the trip for my husband and I's wedding. No big deal, I just made sure to tell her that she needs to ovulate for that to happen, but other than that, I couldn't care less. What started to get annoying is when we were talking about all the activities or excursions that people wanted to do so they could go ahead and book it, Sarah would always say, make sure there's enough time for Matt and I at the hotel so we can get busy making our baby. Again, kind of gross, a little annoying, but whatever, they are grown-ups. I've got to interject here and say I was not expecting this from the title. I thought she would already be pregnant. This is just so weird. Anyway, about a week before we all leave to go to my home country, Sarah and Matt arrive in our home state to spend time with the family as they rarely see them. My husband and I, his parents, and my husband's brother and sister-in-law are sitting chatting when Sarah blurts out that she is pregnant. We all get really excited, congratulate them, and say how happy we are. We start asking some questions, and Sarah says she is 2 weeks pregnant. Everyone then kind of loses a little bit of excitement and says, wow, that's really early. We suggest to wait before telling other people. Just a lot can happen. People usually don't even know they're pregnant until at least 6 weeks, and even then, they're encouraged to wait until after the first trimester to tell people. My brother and sister-in-law were very happy and excited for them, but cautioned them even more, as they have experienced multiple miscarriages before having their first child. Matt replied by saying they are only telling the people closest to them, for example his parents, her parents, and her siblings. No one else, since it is so early. Well, the next day, Sarah called her great uncle and his wife over for drinks and decided to tell them too. She called her one aunt and uncle and told them, and by the end of the day, basically the entire extended family knew, as well as some of her mum's friends who stopped by the house, and Sarah told them too. With each person Sarah told, Matt got more agitated, as they'd agreed to only tell a select few people. Matt finally gave up and asked her why she doesn't just post it on Facebook, as it will be quicker. To which she replied, she wants to, but she thinks it will be frowned upon. My husband came to me and said it feels like she is trying to draw the attention away from us and our wedding, as she is known to do anything and everything to have the spotlight on her. I said, don't worry about it. When we are in my home country, she isn't going to know many people, so she won't say anything. He agreed, but went to his parents and told them what he was feeling, and asked if they could politely suggest that she keep it to herself when we left for the trip. They agreed that it was valid for him to feel that way, as they know she hates it if the focus is not on her. Anyway, we leave for the wedding, and I see my mum for the second time in 5 years. Obviously, it was a very emotional reunion, but we wiped off our tears quickly and sat down for a meal with my husband's family. After I introduced her to everyone, the waiter takes our order, and the first thing Sarah says to my mum is, "Your daughter probably already told you, but I won't be drinking on this trip." My mum says that that's not a problem, you don't have to drink to have fun, and that Sarah will still have fun, even if she chooses not to drink. Sarah, though, interrupts my mum to tell her it's not by choice that she's not drinking, but that she is pregnant. Keep in mind, this is 10 minutes after she met my mum. My mum says congratulations and keeps on with another conversation. But Sarah interrupts my mum again and tells her that she is 2 weeks pregnant and just so excited. Now, my mum, who is in medicine, then tells Sarah the same thing that we did, that she should probably wait until she is in her second trimester to tell people. And Sarah completely ignores her. The same thing happens with my aunt, cousins, uncles, sister, and grandparents, all of whom she had never met before. My husband yet again speaks to his parents and asks them to please tell her to keep it private because it feels as though she is purposefully trying to take the attention away from our wedding. They say they will talk to her. Matt actually comes up to us and apologizes, saying that he agrees that it's gotten out of hand and that the number of people that know is way more than the number they agreed upon. Fast forward, we are sitting eating while we wait for one of our excursions. A family that I lived with for 3 months when I first moved to my husband's country flew out for the wedding and met up with us for lunch. They have never met my sister-in-law. The wife and I are talking about the wedding and all the arrangements, while my sister-in-law sits across from us and listens to the conversation. My husband orders some shots for everyone at the table, when his mum says she doesn't want one, so he tells the server -1. My sister-in-law hears him ordering the shots and goes off yelling across the table, "I can't drink alcohol! You know I can't drink a shot! Why would you order me one?" Everyone kind of stops and looks at her for a second, before my husband says it's not a problem as Matt said he wants to. Everyone then continues their conversation, including the wife and I. My sister-in-law interrupts me and continues to make a big fuss over how my husband ordered her alcohol when he knows she's not drinking. The wife then says it's okay because Matt said he'll drink it, so it's not going to waste. But she then says again how annoying it is that my husband ordered her a shot, and I just say to not worry because I'll just drink it if Matt doesn't want it. She keeps doing this until I finally tell the wife that she's not drinking because she is pregnant. The wife says congratulations, asks her how far she is, and then also tells her to be careful about telling too many people. This situation happens about 3 more times in the week leading up to the wedding. Now, this is why I could be the jerk here. The last time it happened, she was telling my high school friends at the wedding how sick she's been, but nobody asked why she was sick. They were just empathetic and saying they hope she feels better. They came over to me to talk to me, and she followed again, complaining about how sick she has been and kind of pushing them to ask why she's been feeling so sick. When I finally said, "Sarah, are you freaking kidding me? No one gives a dang that you are pregnant. They don't even know you." Sarah ran off crying, and my mother-in-law heard me say that and told my father-in-law, who screamed at my husband, saying how he hurt Sarah's feelings and how she's just excited. My husband doesn't think I did anything wrong, and my high school friends think that I was fine too because they know the backstory. But my mum and some of my husband's family think I was the jerk. So, am I the jerk for telling my sister-in-law that no one cares that she is pregnant? Now, before we get into my thoughts on this and that all-important update, first of all, some comments. Somebody said, 2 weeks pregnant just doesn't exist. If she's used the clear blue test that says 2 weeks, it actually means she is 4 weeks. Your weeks of pregnancy are dated from the first day of your last period. This means that in the first 2 weeks or so, you're not actually pregnant. Your body is preparing for ovulation, releasing an egg from one of your ovaries as usual. OP replied saying that she said she knows when she got pregnant. It was their anniversary from when they started dating, and then she took a pregnancy test and it came back positive 2 weeks after the anniversary. She could also apparently feel when the implant of the egg happened. I mean, that has to be a load of absolute waffle. What the heck? I mean, I'm not a woman, and I've never been pregnant, sadly. But surely, guys, get in the comments. That's just not a thing, is it? Someone else said, here is the real problem. Her husband, her parents, even your husband should have told her off long before this reached your breaking point. You did nothing wrong, but apparently nearly everyone else was more than happy to play the role of enabler to this little princess. Someone else agrees, yeah, you're not the jerk. She just sounds insufferable. Is she the golden child? Yep, she never finished college after asking her dad to pay for 4 different colleges and degrees, and then still got a graduation present when she moved away to work on a ranch. She also gets an allowance for money every month from her father. Now, 9 days later, we got that all-important update, but before we get into that, I just have to say that I agree fully with all the commenters here. What is she doing? First of all, yeah, you can't be pregnant. I mean, you can't effectively say that you're pregnant that early, can you? I mean, 2 weeks. Surely you can't. You can't say I'm 2 weeks pregnant. No one's ever said that. Secondly, why would you do that? So much stuff can happen in that first trimester that can, ruin everything, sadly. So that is why people often do wait, or the majority of the time do wait until later down the line. Thirdly, if you are going to tell people and it is going to be really, really close family, then fair enough. But make sure that it still is only really, really close family. Don't tell great aunts and uncles and then they'll tell everyone else, and just now you're telling random people that haven't even met you. You might as well say, hi, my name is pregnant at this point. That's how much you care. And look, don't get me wrong. Being pregnant, I'm sure, is an amazing thing. But is it amazing enough to gloat to everyone? People you don't even know? No, it's not. I mean, maybe it is, but you just don't need to do that. Anyway, let's see what happens next. My husband and I finally had our honeymoon, and we were unreachable during our holiday because we were out of the country. Our whole family knew this before we left, and we told them the only way to reach us in an emergency was to call the hotel. We knew that Sarah was going in for her appointment while we were away, and we told her that we'd call her as soon as we got back home. My husband and I were out one day for the whole day from the hotel doing activities, and when we got back, we found a note on our room to say we have to go to reception. Once we got to reception, the person told us we had 7 missed calls from family and gave us a number to call. We didn't know who called or what about, but we thought it was an emergency. We called the number and it was Matt. He was very confused and asked why we were calling him on our honeymoon and asked if we were okay. Well, we said that the hotel said that this number called 7 times and asked him if everything was okay. Matt said everything was fine, but that Sarah wanted to talk to us. Oh, what a surprise. Matt called Sarah over and she asked us how we were having fun, etc. But we just wanted to know what was going on because we were so worried. Sarah said she went to the doctor and got some news. We asked if everything was okay because she kept not saying anything and we could hear her and Matt whispering to each other. We heard Matt say to her, "Did you seriously call the hotel 7 times to tell them this? It could have waited." Sarah finally gets back on the phone and said that the doctor said she was going to have twins. We said congratulations and asked if there was anything else. We thought again that it was an emergency. She said no, she just wanted to share the news because she is so excited and scared and she couldn't hold it in. She said she also called my mum and told her. They are friends on social media. My husband and I both just said we were very happy for them, but really didn't want to be bothered again if it was not an emergency. Sarah said we were being very rude and she just wanted to share the good news. We hung up because we had to get ready for dinner. When we got back into the US, my in-laws picked us up from the airport and were asking us if we spoke to Sarah. We said yes. She said she was having twins and we were very excited for them. My father-in-law then said that Sarah told them we were extremely rude to her and Matt and that we were dismissive and hung up the phone. We told them what really happened and they said that is not what Sarah has told the whole family. We are now back in our house and haven't spoken to Sarah or Matt. Matt texted us both, but the text only came through later. He said he was so sorry that they bothered us on our vacation and he felt horrible. We just text back saying it was all good and that we were very excited for both of them. All I can say about this whole situation is that I am very happy that we live on the other side of the country from Sarah. Okay, so that is the end of the story. But before I give my thoughts, and wow, I have a lot of thoughts to give, here is an additional comment from OP. I spoke to my mother-in-law today and like everyone said, Sarah didn't calculate her time right. Wow, I'm not, again, very surprised at all. She's actually about 8 to 9 weeks pregnant, according to my mother-in-law. She is also having twins that were 2 eggs and 2 sperms. Not sure the medical name. Each has their own sac. Now, interestingly, someone asked this. Did your brother go with her to the doctor? Did he see the ultrasound? For some reason, women who fake pregnancies often claim they're having twins. Now, that isn't a super likely scenario, but this woman does sound pathologically desperate for attention. Maybe I've watched too many Dr. Phil episodes on women who fake pregnancies, but I'd reverse image search any ultrasound pictures that she sends or posts. And that is a thought that I hadn't even considered, but I guess it does make sense. If she is this keen for attention, who knows to what length she'd go to get it. Opie replied, I think Matt went with, yes. When we got back to the US, she did send a picture of the ultrasound. Now, I'm not a doctor or in the medical field at all, but it did look like 2 babies to me. Okay, so look, I'm probably just about happy enough to write that off as a possibility. That's maybe even a step too far for Sarah, although, I mean, honestly, who knows? She probably could do that. I just don't think that that's that likely. I do have to say, though, what like a attention-seeking little mug she is. And I'm just like, I'm thinking the whole time, Matt, what are you doing to me? Why are you with a person like this? He knows. He clearly knows. He's like apologizing throughout the entire thing to his sister and to you know, her husband and the family in general. You know the sort of person that you're with and how just annoying and like horrible she is, clearly, and how attention-seeking she can be. Just why? I'm sure you love her, but why? Does this not like just show you that she's just not the sort of person that you want to be with for the rest of your life? If everyone in the family is just saying she's so annoying, why is she doing this sort of thing? And OP is saying at the end, your sister is saying, I'm so happy I live as far away from her as I possibly can within the constraints of the same country. I don't know. I think that'd be a pretty good indication, but yeah, I guess he's sort of stuck with her now. She's pregnant. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. What a couple of stories, especially that second one. I didn't think it would be as weird as this. I didn't think Sarah would be as attention-seeking as she was, but wow, new levels to entitlement, narcissism, and just being the biggest egotist I've ever come across. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. If you want more from me right away, this is a pretty similar story, so click on that. And yeah, I'll see you guys all tomorrow with some more Reddit content.